Today we're going to be going over some of the very best clones from one of the best clone brands right now, and that is Fragrance World. Now this is not a sponsored video, okay? I just happen to really like the brand, and I do think that they're at the top of the game right now. You can also go for plenty of scents from Lattafa, Armaf, Dumont has a lot of great clones right now. You know, even things like Maison Asrar, a little bit more of an up-and-coming clone brand that makes some really premium, high-quality stuff. One of the main things I like about Fragrance World is often that sometimes they clone the bottles as well, and I think that's very appealing for people. Two reasons I can think of off the bat why you should buy clones, one of which being they're always going to be cheaper than the original or what they're cloning. The other main one is that, well, they clone discontinued fragrances, which is a huge bonus, and we have a few of those in here today. I'm going to drop links to everything that I talk about down below in the video description as always. We're going to get things kicked off with Liquid Brun. Now this is French Avenue, but it's Fragrance World, just a little sister brand, I guess. This is a clone of Parfums de Marly Altair, which you can see right back here. It's all about the vanilla, the tonka bean, has this chestnut accord as well. Sweet, sexy, gourmand, just delicious, mouth-watering. If you don't like sweet gourmand fragrances, you are not going to like this one, so make sure you factor that into the equation before you go ahead and purchase this, because keep in mind, we're talking clones here in particular. These are all gonna be, for the most part, $40 or less, with maybe one outlier or something like that, but you're gonna be in that price range. So sampling them in store, just not really gonna be feasible, at least here in the United States for most of us. You're not gonna find them. Buying samples online, you know, by the time you pay shipping and tax and get a small sample, you're not too far off from buying the bottles. So when it comes to blind buying these, which most of you are gonna do, just make sure you take a step back and look at what you have in your collection before you pull the trigger. See what you like, try to compare it. Again, this is sweet. If you don't like sweet, you're not gonna like this. I'm just trying to save you some disappointment. But so many people do love Parfums de Marly Altair and or Liquid Brun. This is just a very common type of scent these days. This sweet fragrance trend is continuing on. Doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, so either you like them or you don't. That being said, if you like the PDM and you don't want to spend, you know, $250, you could spend $35 or $40 on this one and get something that is just about spot on. This next one is going to be a clone of a discontinued fragrance, like I was talking about in the beginning. It is Feroce Pour Homme, a clone of the discontinued Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever, which if you have smelled it, you'll know what the hype is about. It's all about the grapefruit, the ozonic notes, a little bit of a violet leaf, giving it a bit of a watery feel, light blue scent, so it makes sense within that somewhat marine aquatic realm. And also, if you've seen the bottle before, maybe you own one or you've seen pictures, this coloration is just about spot on. I've got my bottle sitting back there on the shelf. I could bring it up and show you. So while the bottle itself does not look like light blue at all in terms of the shape and everything, the color is very close, kind of giving you an idea of what they're after. And when you smell it, that's the final nail in the coffin. You know for a fact that they are cloning Light Blue Forever / Light Blue Italian Love. They're pretty much interchangeable aside from a couple small differences, but I just say it's a Light Blue Forever clone because Light Blue Forever was the more popular one. That one was out and did really well for the time that it was available, and it was on discounters for a great price too. They discontinued it. It's no longer. Doesn't really burn as much now because this clone is so accurate, and you can get it for, again, $30 to $40 or so on most discounters. It is a fantastic purchase for spring and summer wear. You have to like citrus. In particular, you have to like a sour, punchy, strong and realistic grapefruit accord. If you don't want to smell like that, then you don't want this. This next one, this is where we're getting into the good stuff here as far as the bottles go. It's not Jean Paul Gaultier, but it's John Guste, Amaze Homme. I'm telling you, if you were to stand far back and just flash this bottle, I guess maybe get rid of the cap, flash this bottle, I mean, it just looks like Le Male. It really does, or Les Beaux in this case. So that's one cool thing. You get the luxury of a cap, whereas you never get that option with the Les Beaux or the Le Males or whatever. And again, no surprise, doesn't even need to be said. It's a clone of Les Beaux Eau de Toilette. has that coconut sweetness, that tonka bean as well, a little bit of that pineapple going on. Just a tropical, summer-oriented smell, but it's a sweeter summer scent, which kind of throws people off. Les Beaux, and more particularly Les Beaux Les Parfums, got very, very popular within the fragrance community, and then from there, every other flanker is done really well. Paradise Garden and Flower Edition and whatever. I guess it's just those two within that line, unless I'm missing something, but I don't think so. There's just a lot of hype built into this fragrance line and really into this fragrance brand right now, especially like on TikTok and stuff. Just the Jean Paul Gaultiers, they get very popular. And so to have something that you only spend $20 on and get you into the same realm as the original one, which isn't horribly priced, but it's more than $20, to me, that's pretty cool. This next one is Invicto Elixir. Gradient is pretty much spot on. Now, of course, we don't have the trophy bottle here. This is a Invictus Victory Elixir clone. But again, they did a great job with the black down to this deep, vibrant blue. Looks really, really nice. Heavy bottle as well. You've got basically this much of just pure glass here. So Invictus Victory Elixir, beautiful tonka-based scent with a ton of amber and other sweet notes, even I believe a little bit of incense as well. It smells great. It's very much up to today's standard. Just a sweet, mass-pleasing type men's scent. Usually going to be around $100 online. You're going to be paying your typical Fragrance World price for this one. Depending on where you're shopping, it could be, again, I guess anywhere from $30 to $40. That's the thing. It's hard to price these out because from discounter to discounter, they can vary. You know, sometimes even by like $10, which when you're paying $200, that's nothing. But when you're paying, you know, $20 versus $30, that $10 delta is a little bit more noticeable. So just do some price shopping. Again, I'll try to link to the best prices down below, and it's also based on availability as well. Proud of you, Absolute. Again, doesn't need to be explained at all. Armani, Stronger with You, absolutely clone. Just look at that. I mean, the coloration, the gradient is super accurate. Even the color of the liquid itself, the juice, as they say, is very close. The cap is a little bit different, but again, we're not expecting complete perfection. And yet another heavy cap. This one, it can't be metal. I mean, it's, well, maybe it is. I don't know. It might be metal with plastic on the inside. Just gives it some weight. Not as heavy as a PDM cap, but this whole bottle is heavy. I wish I had a scale because I would bet money that this Fragrance World bottle is actually heavier than my actual bottle of Stronger with You, absolutely. There's a side-by-side for you. This is why I love Fragrance World. You know, at the end of the day, when you've been collecting for a long time, all that really matters is the scent. Is it something that smells good, that you like the smell of? When it comes to clones, is it accurate and does it perform, right? For people who are just starting out, they don't like tacky bottles. I know because I was that person when I was first starting out. So to have clones that have bottle presentations that actually look designer-ish, to me, it's genius, and it's a big selling point. And again, not everybody cares about it, but I would say especially newcomers to the hobby, they want to build up a collection that looks cool and that they're proud of, and these types of bottles really help it. Versus like some of the Armafs and Latafas that are a little bit funky looking, they just don't look really designer-ish. Yet another very strong performing clone, gets the chestnut, gets the rum accord as well, of course tonka bean and all that stuff. Again, it's Stronger with You, absolutely. If you smelled that one, that's what this smells like. They're very close. Price difference is going to be, you know, pretty significant as well. Usually around 100 for the Armani, and this is going to be usually, I think I've seen it as low as 20. This next one is Suits by Fragrance World. This one took a little bit of a fall down on here on my, I mean, it's a concrete slab basement, so you know it survived the hit. You got to make sure you don't cut yourself there, but it survived. Obviously, going to be a YSL Tuxedo clone, and man, very, very close. Now, to be fair, most of them are. You could go for something like Rochas Mustache EDP. You could go for Alhambra, the Tux / now Winzome. You could go for Afnan Tarathi Brown. And there are other clones out there as well. In fairness, again, they're all very close, but yet, so is Suits. And what I like about this one and the Alhambra is that they go after the bottle. So you can see the coloration is very similar. Even just the label on the front does a very similar thing as well, and the texture on the cap. Just overall, you can tell what they're doing here, and I love it. It's hard to justify YSL Tuxedo. It retails for over $250, and you can't get it really below that often, so that's kind of what you're stuck paying. And when you have something that is this close, this accurate, and this good at performing for $20 to $25, it's just, again, it's hard to write the check for $250 plus when you have something like this. It's just really impressive. This next one is Supreme L'Homme Extreme Eau de Parfum. This is a clone of Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. Has the tobacco, the almond, and of course the plum. So the plum and tobacco are the two notes that basically separate this from everything else on the designer and niche market, because technically Guerlain is niche. It really stands out. And then the addition, well, not the addition of, but the carrying over of the almond accord, which is existent in the entire lineup. In fact, that's what that L'Homme line is built around, is the almond. Just those three together make something that smells so unique, and they captured it here in this as well. And, you know, at the end of the day, the Guerlain for a niche fragrance isn't horrendously priced. I mean, on discounters, usually $85 to $80 or so. Sometimes a little bit less if you're lucky and you find a tester. That's not bad, but this is $20 to $25, let's say $20 to $30. There's still some difference, and you can take that difference and buy a couple other clones and or whatever else you want to do. So there is still room to save some money there, and this is a great one to do it with. Eau de Spice by Mark and Victor. It's so entertaining, some of these names. I love it. The bottle, obviously, it's not a grenade, but it does have this, I mean, the same type of yellowish looking band, and of course the name, and we do have a cap versus obviously not having a cap. You know, it doesn't take a genius to know this is a Spice Bomb Extreme clone, or at least that's what they were trying to do, right? Just by looking at the name and the bottle color. And then when you smell it, you can confirm that, in fact, it is a Spice Bomb Extreme clone. It is very similar. They've got the tobacco, they have the black pepper, they have the vanilla, all in the correct, you know, ratios or whatever. And you've got yourself a Spice Bomb Extreme clone for, you know, $25, $30. Now, Spice Bomb Extreme is 90 ml bottle, and I don't know, usually around $80 now. It's actually come down in price a little bit. Used to be $100, sometimes a little bit over consistently. Again, now it's dropped a bit, but again, you're still saving some money with this one. Performance is great as well. Kind of starting to run down to the end with Star Men Nebula and some dust on it. Of course, it's a fragrance world, and Star Men, right? Well, it's a clone of Pure Malt by Mugler. That was one of well, not one of the few, one of the many amazing scents from the brand, of which they discontinued every single one of them. So there's Pure Malt, Pure Havane, or Pure Havane. There was, I mean, Pure Coffee, Pure Tonka, Pure Wood, Ultra Zest. I could go on, really. They had so many amazing fragrances, and they got rid of every single one. Now we just have the original Angel Men still, and then Phantasm, and I believe those are the only two that you can still get with relative ease, and I'm assuming the only two still in production. So if you want to experience the hype behind what Pure Malt was back, you know, at this point, probably 8, 9 years ago or so, then go ahead and buy this one. It eliminates the need of you going out and spending $200+ on eBay for Pure Malt and running the risk of getting scammed by either a fake or just, you know, not getting it or whatever. Just get this instead. I mean, it is so close. And I mean, Pure Malt, it's a beauty. Nice boozy scent with a little bit of a fruitiness as well. Not super heavy, not super sweet like a lot of scents are these days. Just a nice one for fall and winter with a different twist that we're not used to. Last up for this video, we have Harmony Code Absolute. I mean, you see that gold metallic flake, all right? Armani Code Absolute. Doesn't need to be said either. Beautiful Tonka suede, kind of vanilla-based scent. Oh man, forgot how good Armani Code Absolute was. Really, it smells amazing. They discontinued that one too. I believe that they kind of re-brought it back into Armani Code Elixir, but I haven't bought that yet. It did hit discounters, so I will probably pick it up. I just didn't want to pay retail. But they brought it back into a 50 ml bottle that retails for $165. So that's kind of, you know, a bit off-putting. this one here, Harmony Code, yeah, typical $30, $40 or whatever it is, and it gets you just about spot on to code Absolu. It smells wonderful. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some of the best Fragrance World clones that you can buy right now. Again, this is a brand that's on top of it. You know, they're having accurate scents that are good performing, and in some cases they're kind of, you know, implementing some characteristics from the original bottle presentation into their own. Sometimes very blatantly, other times more subtle, but it's cool nonetheless. Again, links will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.